Namaste. I decided to do a quick reading on why do people troll and what do they think they will get out of it. Now, it's interesting because I went through the thing and it said yes, it would answer. Uh, and I went through the cards, but it only picked two decks. Usually it picks three decks, but for this question, it's only picking two. So I went ahead and already shuffled the cards. I picked my card here. And okay, it's saying that this one is in the negative, which makes sense. And the other card was okay. Okay. Interesting cards. Both of them went to the negative. So let's look at what the positive of it is the card of equilibrium. Okay. So people troll because they have lost their equilibrium. Equilibrium is balance. They're off balance. This is why they are trolling. Let me put a little more light here. Because they are off balance. Whatever they've heard and their neutrality has gone. So they're very biased. They're very off balance with what has been said. Okay. They don't like it. It's challenging some of their belief systems and they don't want to hear it. Okay. So again, it's not coming from a sense of a balanced persona. There is something off. If you have to troll somebody, okay, then you have lost your balance. Okay. So that's interesting that they've been. So let's see, what do they think they will get out of it? Okay, so let's see what we have. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, this is really interesting. Now, this is the first time I've had it do this before. It's going yes and then it's going no. So, what this is telling me, that's very interesting. I've never had that happen in a reading before. So, what they think they will get out of it, is by trolling, that it's going to bring things into alignment with their thinking. They're going to fight against it and they're going to try to, have these things line up in their mentality, whatever it is that they want to believe. If they fight against it, if they troll you, then they think they're bringing these things into more alignment. But they're not, this synergy of bringing things together. Okay, it's not happening. And it's, here it's showing all sorts of ideas. All sorts of ideas, all sorts of things are floating around that they're trying to handle. Okay. Now, the card that's really interesting, it says at first they think it's going to bring things into harmony, into synergy, but then what happens is then it goes out. Okay, so it may work for them for a while, but it's going to keep feeding on them. It's going to keep going out. It's going to keep rotating. That's what that's telling me. For a time, it's going to work for them. They think, oh, I've done this, I've trolled, and now I've got my thing, and I'm strong, and I've done this, and I've brought my things back into balance. It's coming together. But it's not going to last long. Again, it's going to go back out. It's going to keep feeding on them. Okay? They're going to find out nothing's been handled because nothing is changing. Okay? For a second, wow, I really got them. And then the next second, again, they're out of harmony again. Okay? So it just says their mind is revolving. Their mind is revolving in it. Okay? I'm going to bring it all together. I'm going to make sense of it. I'm going to troll them. I'm going to tell them what's up. I'm going to get after them. I'm going to do all I can. Mind's revolving. It's spinning. It's spinning. 1 second they're happy with. Next second it didn't work. Next second they're back to, same thing. Going around and around and around. Okay. So that's interesting. I've never had it do that before. That in 1 second they're in harmony. Wow, look what I did. And the next second they see it, it's solved nothing. So then they're back out at it again. The mind is spinning again. It's spinning again, spinning again. So I'm going to ask the last thing: is there something of benefit that can be said to those that are trolling? We'll see if it has anything to say, if there's something of benefit that can be said to those people that want to troll. And trolls are not happy. They never put their real names up online. They always go under some fake identity. Okay? Have to hide behind a screen, do a fake identity, or whatever it is they're caught up in. So there's something of benefit that can be said. Let's see what comes out. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Okay, interesting. Let's see what the second one is. Okay. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay. So what it's saying is the two cards that I'm getting that can be what could be beneficial for them to hear. Whether they'll hear it or not is another story, because their mind is just spinning on stuff, is that they have to become, like the hermit. You have to look deeper inside yourself. Quit projecting out. You have to find your own self-worth within yourself. Okay? Again, nurturance. You have to nurture. Fighting against other people is not going to nurture yourself. You can fight against situations. You can fight against old past stuff. You can fight and fight and fight and rail against it and revolve around it and spin on it all you want to. But it's not going to nurture you. It's just going to create bigger stories, So in order to actually nurture you, you have to, again, go in and you find all these prickly ideas and stuff that you don't want to face. You have to look at it, okay? And it's really interesting that these things can come through, on a deeper level. It's funny that I've been seeing a lot of cards lately that have the blood moon. Okay, that blood moon, that thing always represents more psychic, more deep things, that one intuition things that come in eventually. Okay, let's see, you got to go into the cave of your, like it represents like that cave of your heart. You've got to go beyond the mask that you keep putting out there. Okay, one has to go beyond that. Okay, to the deeper things, Okay, find out what's going to feed your growth. Find out what's beneficial, which is actually going to feed you. Okay, and let the rest of it go. Let the rest of it go. Okay, you may have your ideas and your whatever it is, religious persuasions, whatever. Okay, fine. But again, trolling people is only going to keep what? The mind spinning. You're going to keep having all these things, all these ideas, all these identifications, all these storylines coming together, and it's going to keep spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. Okay, granted, you don't like what you've heard somewhere and your equilibrium is off balance. Okay, your neutrality's gone right out the door. Okay, you're not willing to look at anything objectively. You're not willing to look at facts. You're not willing to look at what's actually taking place. You've gone off balance in the spin. Okay. Again, mind is keep spinning. You keep trying to drag all these facts together, all these things that you want to spin and create another storyline about it. Bring a bunch of stuff together, whether it's true or not, and rail against it. Okay, one is better to go into stillness and nurture themselves, find their happiness within, rather than trying to fight everybody in the universe and everything and make it all about them and make everybody is your enemy and everybody has done this to you and everybody's done that. And nobody's doing, usually a damn thing. Maybe they've said something you don't like. It's an affront to your ego or your belief system, whatever it is. Okay? But really, the only way through is to go within and find things that actually will nurture, rather than running around the net thinking you've got some power in trolling people. Because all that does is drags the mind back into and keeps it in a state of, again, imbalance and spinning. And spinning. And what you think has brought you harmony, brought you peace for a few seconds, is not going to last. It's going to keep spinning and keep throwing you off balance. Okay? So again, my advice to those that want to be out there trolling people, rather than fighting everybody in the universe, better you go within your own self and find out what nurtures. Okay? Because trolling people is not nurturing you. It's just taking you to more and more imbalance, more and more spinning mind that's going to keep revolving and getting stuck and cranking on the same thing, and all your energy is going to be spent on, trying to fight somebody. And usually the people one wants to troll are not doing a thing to them. Okay, so again, get a life, go within, find out what's going to nurture you, Spend some time actually looking rather than with your knee-jerk reactions. Come back to some sort of neutrality. Okay, come back to some sort of neutrality and look at facts. Rather than this synergistic, this thing that you've got of all these things that you've got spinning there. Come back to some kind of objectivity, to some sort of a stiller mind, so your mind can have a chance to still, and you can find what nurtures you. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here. I hope it's helped some trolls somewhere to get a handle on what they're doing and seeing that what they're doing is not going to benefit them in the least. It's just going to keep that imbalance going and that spinning. And again, it's not benefiting them at all. Okay, better to go within and find something that actually will nurture. Okay, so I'll leave this here. Namaste.